Have you ever had one of those moments of total clarity where you're awake and yet your mind drifts off into a dream? A dream that is so real that you almost feel like you're there. It's emotional and spiritual, and you realize 100 things all at once, and it all happens in an instant. I was in my bedroom. It was just a normal day, nothing unusual about it. I sat down at my desk to use my computer. I opened it up and I pushed the power button. Ow! It shocked me. I got some kind of zap. Now, I know it was a dream, but that felt real, and it hurt. When the computer booted up, though, I realized that something weird was happening, because the screen said "My Life" across it. It was like that shock connected me to the computer. Now the computer was a record of my entire life. Suddenly I felt funny, like I was being drawn into the computer. I didn't know what had happened, but I realized I was okay, so I decided to look around. It was some kind of interface for the computer. The whole room was interacting with me. In front of me floated all kinds of files. The names of the folders were strange. Places I've been, number of days sick, girls I've liked. I opened that one. You can imagine how shocked I was to recognize every name. I pulled open another one. Mean things I have said. Suddenly, it hit me like a punch in the stomach. This database was a record of my entire life. Every detail was recorded and saved here in digital form. Every moment of my life was in this database. I started looking through more files. Some were nostalgic in nature, friends I've had. Others were ridiculous in their level of detail, shoes I've worn. Still, more represented a humongous amount of wasted time, TV shows I have watched. Then I saw one that really shocked me. Lustful thoughts. I was nervous, not sure if I should open this one or not. I did. It was so much worse than I'd imagined. There, right in front of me, was every horrible, sinful, impure thought I'd ever had. And after each one, there was my name signed in black ink to prove that it was me who had thought it. I felt so much shame. Then I felt anger. My face flushed red. What if someone sees this? What if somehow this gets out on the internet? What if other people get access to these files? They must be destroyed, I thought. I had to delete every file and destroy every trace that they ever existed. I looked down the list. Lies I've told, people I've hurt, porn I have seen, people I've betrayed, things I've stolen, promises I've broken, people I have hated. All of it had to go. Every last file. I found a way to delete the files, or so I thought. Every time I tried, it said, "Error, protected file." I tried to drag the files to the trash. No luck. I felt rage come over me. I screamed and threw myself against the glass. I furiously punched the wall, trying to shatter it. I had to destroy this. No one can see this. Finally, I just collapsed. I cried and I cried. I was shaking like a baby, so full of shame and remorse. Then I saw him. Not him. No, anyone but him. What was he doing here? Across the room came Jesus. He walked right up to the interface and opened up the files. I jumped up to stop him, shouting, "No, Jesus, please don't look at that." But it was too late. He seemed to go right for the worst files first. One after another, he read each sinful, terrible thing I had done, each signed with my name. It only seemed like a minute, but it must have taken hours, and he was done. He looked me right in the eyes, his gaze piercing my soul. I was naked before him, covered in my own shame. Then suddenly, he reached his arms out and gathered in all the files. He brought them all to the center of the interface and then somehow closed his hands around them. For a moment, nothing happened. Then his hands began to shake and light burst forth from them. When it was over, he opened his hands and everything was gone. Everything except 2 scars. I wanted to speak, but I couldn't say a single word. Just then, one single word appeared on the screen. Reboot.